Hello, welcome to another Dave's Desk. And every now and again I say, oh, I'm with an old friend, or let me introduce an expert to you. But it's not very often I get a chance to say an old friend, truly an expert, authority, world champion at what he does. Not only that, but he's one of the most giving, generous, caring and disciplined people I've ever met in my life. He's made a difference to my life and he's an inspiration. That's some build up, eh? I'm going to introduce you to a guy called Kash Gill, aka Kash the Flash Gill, who isn't just one or two or three. He's 4 times world mixed martial arts kickboxing champion, and I don't know if it's still a record, but the reason that is even more impressive than having a world record is that each of those 4 titles are in different weight disciplines. You ask anybody in the martial arts world, that is quite impressive. So, my friend Kash, how you doing, mate?
What an introduction, Dave. That was fantastic. I'll pay you later. But listen, you're a big inspiration to me as well. You know what? Every time I see you talking to all the kids in school, I think Dave has got the knack. He's doing so good. And you inspire me. So, Dave, snap.
Bro hugs, a bromance, mate. It's a bromance. So, so we're from God's country, aren't we? Both of us. We're from Birmingham. But Kash, I'm not going to ask. Normally, I ask questions, but I've got a couple to ask you at the end. But can I ask you just for 4 or 5 minutes? Tell us your story.
I can just sum it up. Yeah. Obviously, Kash the Flash. I was born as Kashmir Gill, and obviously Kash being short, and the Flash. My coach said to me, you know what, there can only be one name for you. It fits like a glove, Kash the Flash. And that's what I had that much as on my first fight. I was born in 1966, which is going back a few years, in Handsworth. We all know Handsworth for the wrong reasons, but a lot of good has come out of Handsworth. I'm one of the first people who have come out of Handsworth. Very proud to be from Handsworth in Birmingham, represented all around the world. I was lucky enough to travel the world. I went to Australia 4 times. I got to Hawaii, South Africa, Kurdistan, Kazakhstan, Germany. I went to loads of different places. You know, my dream was to become a world champion. I always dreamt, and I also wanted to travel the world. So, you know, lucky to have an education, traveling the world. So back in 1980, we'll go straight into it. I was in Handsworth Park, always playing sports, football, tennis, running, anything active, and I was doing it where you get a bit of a sweat. And I was a boxing fan, watched Muhammad Ali fights with my dad back in the 70s. I was a young kid doing the shadow boxing, all that kind of stuff. When I seen the ring in the park, wow, and I sat in the ring, and what I actually seen was an exhibition of kickboxing. I've never seen it before. Flying kicks, jumping kicks, spinning kicks. I thought, wow, where can I learn this? And a couple of days later in Handsworth Park, Handsworth Ladies Centre, walking distance from my house, I went in. From my first lesson, I learned how to make a fist, how to hold the guard. I thought, you know what? I want to be like the coach, Howard Brown. He was a great coach, good people's person, good communication skill. And he said to me, it depends how bad you want it. You want to give up your social life and take it seriously? I thought, that's definitely for me. So from 14, my life changed. It's been now 40 years later. I'm still doing it. So from 14, I had my first competition at 16, went on the mats, done TIG and tag. And I said to Howard, Howard, I want to be like you. I want to knock people out to win, which is full contact. You know, back in 1980, wow. You had to explain to people what kickboxing was. People didn't know what it was. What's kickboxing? I would go in the ring. We're the pioneers for the mixed martial arts today. You know, what they're doing in the ring with the grabbing, the knee, the elbow. The only thing we weren't doing, we weren't wrestling on the floor. So that made it the ultimate, that's why they call UFC came along, ultimate fighting championship. So that the striking, the elbowing, the knee, the low kick, the grappling. So once I took up the sport, my first fight in Birmingham City Centre, my family had never seen me. I said, I don't want my family to see me until I fight for the world title, because I always believed one day I'd be fighting for that world title. So in 1984, I had my first fight. 1986, my second fight was an international against a Yugoslavian. Third fight over in Austria, 4th, 5th, 6th. 1986 was my best year. I went to France. I became the world amateur champion at the age of 20 after 4 fights, cleared up. And everyone was saying that guy is going to be, he's a monster. He's going to be the next Tommy Hearns of kickboxing. Tommy Hearns was my hero. When you call Tommy Hearns, I get excited. So after that, I came back. I won the British professional title. I went on to 1991. world professional title in my hometown of Birmingham, where we made a big entrance with the Bhangra band, loads of drums. People didn't even know what Bhangra was back in them days. You know, the big drums, like so much noise, live entertainment. And it's the first time I actually seen Asian people in the crowd, being an Asian fighter as well. And I was the first Asian in the UK to become a world champion in contact sport, which is a fact, which was put in a recent documentary, 100 Facts About Birmingham. We had the William Shakespeare, Alexander Flemings, Matthew Bolton, Kash the Flash. I'm the first. So
Genuine role
obviously
model.
we made history, so it's great. And now what I do, you know, I was running the gym for the last 12 years. I've been coaching for over 35 years. You know, we teach people to get confidence, not just about fighting, to instill confidence in them, to give them self-belief, and to show them dreams can come true. Because I'm a fine example, coming from an inner city area with nothing. I'm telling you, I come from a big family, you know, with 6 of us. Our mother died very young. My mother was 42. I was only a young kid. Our father brought us up. He disciplined us really well. None of us got in trouble with the police. We had like a good upbringing, but it was tough. We didn't have, you know, the comforts of today like our kids get. So we had a hard life. So really, that just about sums it all up, Dave.
So Kash, genuine role model is how I would describe you. And I know you're more modest than to use those words, but I would, because I've seen you work with young people. Some of my I've got 2 massive overriding memories of being with you. One was when right back in the day, nearly 20 years ago, when I interviewed you for my research, and you'd had a leak at the gym, and your gym was like, there was puddles everywhere. So you went, oh, you best come to my house. So I came to your house, and we were stood in your room, and I was asking you how you prepare to get in the ring, and you taught me about how you change yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically as you step into the ring. And I later found out from interviewing scientists that was called anchoring, and I use that story and anchoring everywhere I go now. So it genuinely changed my life, what you taught me that day. The second thing is about how generous you are and how genuine you are in wanting to make a difference to young people. I was working at a very tough school in Wolverhampton, and they'd got me to bring about 10 seriously tough but lovely lads, but seriously tough. I mean, you know, some of them really needed crash helmets and stab jackets with what the stuff they were getting up to. And the one thing I wanted to do was bring them to your gym. And you said, yeah, bring them down, Dave, bring them down, we'll give them a session. And when they realised, when we pulled up in the car park in the minibus, they were giving it the large in the van. And as soon as they got out, I went, what are we doing here? I went, you're going to spend 2 hours with 4 times world kickboxing champion, Kash the Flash Gill. Literally, the colour drained from them, and they walked in like church mice. But the respect you gave them meant that they gave you respect back, and they walked back and got in that van like young men. And many of them, not all of them, I'll be honest, but many of them really had a shift in their thinking and behavior and maturity. And that is the effect that someone like you can have. So Kash, people watching this, there could be students, teachers, entrepreneurs, captains of industry. If there is, from your experiences yourself or working with other people, 1, 2, or 3 simple little golden rules that you live your life by, that if we were to do the same, it would just take us up a little notch in effectiveness, what would those things be, mate?
Mine is working hard. I obviously work harder than the average person. Obviously, you got to work quite smart as well nowadays. With the way things have moved, you can work hard and you can work smart at the same time. If I went back now, I'd probably still work hard. I'd still do it all again. So hard work, you can't go wrong. If you hear any business person, they'll say hard work, dedication. That's 2 key ingredients you need to reach the top. Giving up your social life, dedicating yourself to the sport or whichever you want to achieve, hard work, and never give up. You got to keep believing. I never once thought about if I didn't make it. That never once went through my mind. I always believed one day I'll become a world champion. And like you said, I'll be at 4 world titles at 4 different weights, which was a massive achievement. You know, I'm still quite proud of myself thinking, yeah, I've done it, you know, through sheer hard work and dedication. Obviously, I had a certain amount of natural ability, but the hard work is what you need.
I'm taking hard work, never give up, and self-belief. And I interviewed a lady called Ruth Field. She's an author of a very bizarre book called Run, Fat Bitch, Run. And she says, hard work, graft, grunt work, that's what sees you through. And she says, you've heard the expression, Dave, brown is the new black. I went, yeah. She says, well, hard work is the new black. I thought, I love that. Yeah. Love that. So work ethic, never give up, and have that self-belief. And okay, Kash, you had something to believe in. I'm putting you on the spot here, mate. All right. Yeah. But if there's somebody out there who's a little bit lost, they haven't got something to believe in, how would you advise them to go and find something to believe in?
For me, it was by luck that I walked into Handel Park that particular day. And you know what? You can find, sometimes you just find something that's suited here. I was good at different things. I wasn't good at certain things. Academically at school, I was all right. I was average. But when you find something, you can fall in love with it. It's just fine. You got to try different things. You know, I always say to kids out there, you can try different sports. You can try this. You might not be suited, but one day you will find something that you love.
Great advice, because so many people say, I don't know what to do, so they do nothing. What you're saying is try stuff. You know, people say to me about the adventures I've been on, oh, I'd love to go on an adventure. I say, well, get out your armchair and go on an adventure. And so I'm hearing that. Hard work, never give up, have some self-belief. And if you haven't got something to believe in, go and try stuff. Be prepared to find things you don't like till you find the thing you can fall in love with.
That's right, yeah.
Kash, I know that you speak at events, and if people want to get hold of you, what's the best way of them connecting with you, mate?
It's very easy next. Like on my own website, it's kashtheflash.co.uk. You can find out all the information about speaking, about work I do with the kids, any workshops I do. They can find it all out. So kashtheflash.co.uk.
Well, that's Kash with a K, guys. Kashtheflash.co.uk. My friend, always a pleasure, never a chore, and seriously, one of the most impressive human beings in my phone. Always love chatting with you, mate. Thank you very much indeed. God bless you.
Have a knockout day. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Then click the TV to watch the next video. Oh, and don't forget to visit our website at davidheiner.com to claim your free audiobook. Until the next time, go Rhino. Have in it.